We have Daniel Gracia and Daniel Brackins now joining us. Daniel Gracia, Daniel Brackins, what do you guys feel that you can add to the state capitol, and what do you feel is an important issue to tackle to create a better quality of life?
Well, thank you, Sarah, for having us on your show, and thank you, Representative Pine, for hiring us in your office. And first and foremost, the most important thing that we can do to help Hawaii is to support the vision of Representative Pine. I think that Representative Pine has some of the greatest ideas in this building, and with all due respect, I think that Representative Pine's bills are completely without equal. So our responsibility is just to make sure that she's able to meet all of her obligations both in this building and in the district, and just to give her moral support, because she's got the right words, she's got the right ideas, and she's the right woman for the right time.
Well,
okay, enough about me though. What is something that's important to you? A particular issue that you hope to see passed this legislative session?
Well, one of the bills that I would like to definitely see passed this year is fiscal notes legislation, and that's important because in this time of economic tightness, we definitely need to know just how much is being spent by our government and where that money is going. People, if they're going to have to pay taxes, have a right to know how their money is being spent. There's actually two bills that are out there right now that have to do with fiscal notes legislation, and that's important. The other thing that I would definitely like to see passed is, of course, you have introduced several bills to give us tax holidays and to repeal various levels of the general excise tax, including food and prescription medication. And I believe that ultimately the key to economic success will be the fusion of not just being fiscally aware, but being fiscally responsible. And those are some of the bills that I think are most important.
And those are, of course, a lot of the bills that are in the Republican caucus package as well. And we really hope that the legislature gives them a good hearing. And how about you, Dan Brackins?
Well, I would just have to elaborate on what Dan has already said. I think we have some great bills in our package. The ones that I'm really hoping we get support for are one, the food tax repeal. Primarily being that food is something that the people don't have a choice in purchasing. It's not like a luxury good, like, I'm going to Tommy Hilfiger or Polo to buy this item. Okay, this is something that we need to live off of, and it's a necessity. So it seems almost unethical to me for the state to tax such an item as food, and especially now in the current economic situation, facing a recession. I think this would help the people the most by putting more money in their pockets and by providing more food for their families. And with that, I would also support the tax holiday. I wish we could have a tax holiday every day, but the state does have to function every once in a while. So I think those two, if we can support those two, I think the state of Hawaii would be a lot more prosperous.
Great. Well, thank you folks for joining us, and we're going to hear from Representative Marumoto next.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Representative. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Well, we're lucky enough to grab Representative Marumoto. She just stepped out for a hearing and is now joining us. Representative Marumoto, what do you feel that you can add to Hawaii to create a better quality of life? What legislation do you have to offer us?
I think we should fight crime. Representative Pine, I have 3 bills dealing with DNA. And I think we should collect a DNA from a lot of these arrestees, because we find out later on when they commit more heinous crimes, then we have their DNA on file and we can catch them faster before they commit other crimes. And I know you're interested in fighting crime because you have Karen's Law. I have a bill called Katie's Law, which is on the federal level, and they're trying in Congress to be able to collect DNA samples from all arrestees of felonies. Now, this will be great for the database when we put it into the FBI files. Then we'll be able to catch people even if they leave the state, or if people come into Hawaii and commit a crime. This hasn't been scheduled for a hearing yet. I have another one that says we should collect DNA samples from people who commit crimes against children. And there's a lot of sexual offenses, and it's very hard to collect evidence from children who might not be able to describe what's happened to them and give firm dates and places and things of that type.
I understand. I just read in the paper just I think yesterday where they were able to commit or connect a rape to someone else, and unfortunately someone else spent 20 years in jail and he wasn't the perpetrator for that crime, but because of the new DNA laws they were able to find the real perpetrator for that rape.
Because of the technology, they were able to find out this gentleman did not commit the crimes. Unfortunately, like you said, he spent 20 years in prison. Unfortunately, he died in prison. But DNA is a tool that you could use to exonerate innocent people. There's a third bill that I have that would collect DNA samples from arrestees of violent crimes like murder and rape. This is a part of the Women's Caucus package. It was heard by the Committee on Public Safety, and I'm hoping that it will move out in one form or another. I think they voted on it today, but I haven't seen the draft. So hopefully we will advance on this area. Unfortunately, it takes a little money on the part of the police departments to analyze and store all these DNA samples.
Actually, that was the committee that I just ran upstairs to vote on, and we did pass it out of committee, so it's
Good
going to be
news.
moving on.
Well, thank you very much, and hopefully we can get it past the House into the Senate, and we will see what happens then.
Great. Well, thank you, Representative Marumoto. She's got to go back and vote now and finish her work up there, but we thank you so much for coming down.
Oh, it's really been my pleasure, and I've enjoyed talking to everybody and telling them about my DNA bills. Aloha.
Thank you, Representative.